Next question is, I've heard a number of people say to create a wireframe of the solution before you build it and to sell that. Do you tell your prospective customers that you haven't built the product yet? How do you handle if they ask to test it? So yeah, we tell the customer we haven't built it yet. And we say, hey, we're going to build it in 12 weeks. But in order to proceed with building the product, we just want to know that you really wanted enough to pay for it. Because if you're anything like us, you don't want to risk building a product that nobody wants. So we're just curious if you'd like to support us and be one of the first 10 customers in the world with this product. And in exchange for that, you'll be a founding member. You'll get traffic and distribution on the product side of our website. You'll get access to my cell phone to call at any time to request personal access to the CEO and features, and you just stack on benefits, and then say how do you handle if they test it? Oh, and then you offer them a refund. So, and if you're ever unhappy at any time, just send me an email. I'll give you a refund right away. And if you say how do you handle if they ask to test it? I don't think we've actually ever had anybody ask that question. Usually if you've solved a painful enough problem, they're like, yeah, I'm ready to pay for this. They don't need to test it. But sometimes I can see customers need to test it. In that case, if you run into a solution where a customer just absolutely won't buy before they test it, you can just give them the benefits and pros and cons. So you're like, all right, well, look, if you don't want to test it, or if you don't want to pay until you test it, that's fine. You just won't be in the founding members program. You won't get 10% off for life. You won't get access to my cell phone. You'll just be like every other customer. If that's okay with you, then wait till we're testing it. But if you want to be one of the first 10 who gets to like morph the product to exactly how you like, and you want all that personal extra support and whatnot, then you can do that. And then let them pick. And as long as you've educated them on their pros and cons, then they make the decision. That's what you can do. There's a very, very subtle yet incredibly profound distinction between educating and persuading. If you ever find yourself in a state where you're trying to persuade someone, which I do more often than I like to admit, if you ever find yourself in a state where you're trying to persuade someone, step back and educate them. And then let them make a decision. Because when you're just educating someone, then, it's just such an empowering place to be. It actually ends up being more persuasive, believe it or not. So selling the wireframe before you have the solution is a really fun and intense process. If you have trouble asking for money, a lot of your limiting beliefs around money come up. A lot of your family origin history comes up around money. A lot of people fear success or fear failure, so they won't try to sell it because they don't want to see if their product. They'd rather go through the 6 months to build a product and see it fail than try to sell it for a week and see it fail, because they don't want to have the feeling of being unsuccessful, so they'll delay it. There's lots of emotional stuff that goes on when it comes to pre-selling. So my suggestion to you is get into the foundation and absorb our free content and see if that can't help you along your way.